Good evening. My name is Judy and I run a small ballet school in North London. And today I thought I'd kind of talk with parents with regards to ways in which they can help their children to do better in their exams. Um, those children who do really, really well, there are certain things that they put in place on a regular basis. So by the time they come to the exam, they're very, very well prepared. So I'm going to go through a few things that I think parents can do on a regular basis to help their children do really well and get those top marks that they all want. I think one of the first things to talk about is attendance. Now, this may seem really, really obvious, but actually, lots of parents start taking their children to lessons, are very, very enthusiastic at the beginning of term, and maybe towards the middle of term, they're also very, very enthusiastic. But slowly, as the terms pass by, the enthusiasm to bring their children wanes a little bit. And so children, for whatever reason, start to miss lessons. And missing lessons over a period of time can have a very, very damaging effect on the outcome of your exam. So the first thing I would say for parents, please bring your children regularly. When you bring your child to a class regularly, they learn the syllabus effectively with their class, but also they're learning, the body is learning something called muscle memory. So first you learn it in the brain and then it translates into the body. And that only happens over a period of time. So you will need for your child to come regularly and practice regularly for the muscle memory to kick in. And once they've got that in the body, it's much easier to learn and they can improve their technique far better. But if they're still struggling to learn the choreography, they're still struggling to learn the exercises, and they can't quite remember the routines, it's much harder for the muscle memory to kick in. So the first thing is for children to come regularly and to not miss lessons. Um, The other thing I would say, to practice at home. Most children may come to ballet class maybe once a week, if you're lucky, twice a week, and practicing ballet, taking a ballet class is like going and learning an instrument. You have to practice regularly. If you do that regularly at home, take your dance class seriously, then you will get a better result at the end. My classes are 45 minutes to an hour long, and I know that's not enough every week for a child to get those top marks. It has to be supplemented by work at home, and the children who don't do that, or the parents who don't help their children to do that, tend to get lesser marks. The marks tend to be slightly lower. So if you want your child to do well, mums, you will have to have them practicing on a regular basis at home. I think also sometimes children come to class and they have questions, especially the younger ones. They may have a few questions, but they don't ask the teacher. They tell their mum, I don't understand this, mum, I don't understand that. And whilst most teachers are very, very happy to answer any question that the children may have, if that question has not been directed towards the teacher, mums, please come forward and let us know what the issues are, because there could be a slight problem for a child, a particular enchaînement, a particular step, and they're not getting it, and we consider not getting it, and we're trying our best to make them get it. But actually, there may be something very, very simple that we're not aware of, and we haven't been informed about it, but the parents have. So if you could, any questions that your children have about ballet, just come and let us know if they've spoken to you about it but haven't directed those issues to the parents. Another thing I would say for parents, please parents, bring your children in on time, if not slightly earlier. Most children do that, but there are a small minority of parents who bring their children in always late every week, and whilst being late once or twice doesn't have any damage, but if you are late consistently over a period of time, that adds up to hours over the year. And over the year, loss of hours can have significant damage, you know, when it comes to the exam results for your child. So try, if you can. I know sometimes parents have problems because they're coming from school and they're going straight to class, and there might be traffic problems, there may be issues at school, and we all have those problems and we all understand it, and it's perfectly fine, and we're happy to work around that. For those parents who are frequently late, and I think they know they are, I would recommend that you try and remedy that and come regularly, because then your child will have a full class, will be more confident with the material, and will have a better result at the end of the year. I think that's all I want to say at the moment. I suppose one more thing I would suggest is for your child to go and see ballets. Go and see, I mean, if you're in London, you're really lucky because there are so many ballet performances going on. And actually, at Sadler's Wells, you can see a range of ballet performances throughout the year that are designed expressly for children. And the more children see how what they do in class relates to performance and how it relates to professional performance in particular, the more kind of understanding they will have of the work that they do in class. And also, I think it's more inspiring and more motivating for children if they can see how what they learn in class relates to what happens on stage with professionals. So yes, any chance you get for your child to go and see a ballet performance, I would highly, highly recommend it. And I think the last thing I'd like to say, this is an aside, is that whilst for many people they're not going to become ballerinas and they are just doing it for recreation, or they are doing it for fitness or for an after school activity, there are lots and lots of benefits for a child to come and take class, not least to mention the discipline, the camaraderie, learning about team spirit, learning about self-discipline. There are lots and lots of benefits, so try and make the most you can out of your classes for your child. So attend regularly, try to avoid being late, go to performances, and try and strike up a good relationship with your teacher. So whenever there's any issues, there'll be no issues with you coming forward and presenting those issues to your teacher. And hopefully you and your teacher can work together to resolve them. So that's it. Thank you very much.